Stop buying home decor, because after watching this, you're going to make it yourself, and it's going to look way better. I'm not talking about those sad little squares your grandma made in the 80s. I'm talking wall hangings, plant hangers, throw pillows, coasters, table runners, things that people walk into your home and immediately ask, "Where did you get that?" And you get to say, "I made it." That feeling never gets old. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through some of the most satisfying crochet home decor projects you can actually make, even if you've never picked up a hook before. We're going to go through exactly what you need, how to start, what each project looks like step by step, and I'll share some tips along the way that took me way too long to figure out on my own. Let's get into it. First, let's talk about what you actually need before you start any of these projects, because one of the biggest mistakes people make is going to the store, buying a bunch of random yarn, getting home and realizing none of it works together. So let's fix that before it happens. For home decor specifically, you want to think about texture and weight. Yarn comes in different thicknesses, and that thickness is called weight. For most home decor projects, you're going to be working with what's called bulky yarn or chunky yarn. That's a weight 5 or 6 on the label. The reason you want thicker yarn for home decor is simple. It works up faster, it looks more substantial, and it photographs beautifully if you ever want to share it online or even sell your pieces. For the hook, match it to your yarn. The label on your yarn will tell you what size hook to use. If it says 6 millimeters, use a 6mm hook. Don't overthink this part. Now for materials. Cotton yarn is amazing for coasters and table decor because it's stiff, holds its shape, and is easy to wash. Chunky wool or acrylic blends are perfect for wall hangings and plant hangers because they drape really nicely and have that cozy, textural look that makes a room feel warm. You'll also want a yarn needle for weaving in ends. That's just a big blunt needle with a wide eye, and a pair of scissors. That's genuinely it. You don't need a big fancy setup to make beautiful things. Okay, now let's get into the actual projects. The first one I want to talk about is a crochet wall hanging. This is honestly one of my favorite things to make because you can customize it in so many ways and it transforms a blank wall instantly. I've seen people sell these for anywhere from $30 to over $100, so if you ever wanted to turn this into a side income, this is a great place to start. For a basic wall hanging, you're going to need a wooden dowel. You can grab one at any hardware store or craft store for just a couple of dollars, and some chunky yarn. Natural, earthy tones look really stunning. Think cream, terracotta, sage green, dusty rose, but honestly, pick whatever matches your space. The main stitch you'll use for this is a simple chain and single crochet. If you're brand new to crochet, the chain stitch is literally the foundation of everything. You start with a slip knot, put your hook through it, wrap the yarn over the hook, and pull it through. That's one chain. You just keep doing that and you'll have a chain of loops. Now for the wall hanging, here's what you do. You're going to cut a bunch of yarn pieces, about twice the length you want your hanging to be, and fold them in half. Then loop them through the wooden dowel using what's called a lark's head knot. It sounds fancy, but it's not. Fold your yarn in half, push the folded end through the hole or over the dowel, then pull the two loose ends through that loop. Pull tight, that's it. Do that across the entire dowel until it's full. Once you have all your yarn attached, you can either leave it loose for a more boho, fringy look, or you can start connecting the strands with crochet stitches to build a woven pattern in the middle. The most popular way to do this is by working single crochets across rows using just the hanging strands as your yarn. You pick up a strand, crochet across, turn, come back. It creates this beautiful, tight woven section in the center with flowing fringe on the bottom. You can add as much or as little structure as you want. Some people do just a small woven section at the top and leave long fringe below. Others do a full woven panel. Experiment and see what you like. When you're done, trim the bottom fringe to an even length or cut it at an angle for a more interesting shape and hang it up with a piece of twine or leather cord tied to the ends of the dowel. The whole thing takes maybe 2 to 3 hours once you get the hang of it, and the result looks like something out of a home decor magazine. The next project is a plant hanger, and if you have any plants, which honestly who doesn't right now, this one is a must. Plant hangers are actually more macrame in crochet in the traditional sense, but you can absolutely make them using crochet techniques and the result is just as beautiful. The key difference is that in crochet, you're using a hook and working in loops, which gives you a bit more structure and control over the final shape. For a crochet plant hanger, you'll want cotton twine or a natural fiber yarn. Jute and hemp work really well too. These materials are strong enough to hold the weight of a pot, and they have that natural, earthy look that goes so well with plants. Start by making a long chain, about 20 to 30 chains, depending on how tight you want the base of the hanger to be. Then join it into a circle with a slip stitch. This circle is going to be the bottom of the hanger, where the pot sits. From there, you work up in rounds, adding increases every few stitches to make the base slightly wider and able to cup the bottom of your pot. Once you've made the base, you work straight up for several more rounds without increasing. This creates the walls of the hanger that will hold the pot in place. Then, at a certain point, you divide your stitches into 3 equal sections and work each section separately for a few rows. These 3 sections will become the 3 hanging strands. Finally, you join all 3 sections together at the top, chain a long length, and tie it into a loop for hanging. Hang it from a ceiling hook, drop your plant pot in, and that's it. You just made something that would cost $20 to $30 in a store. One tip: always test the weight before you leave it unattended. Give the hanger a little tug, make sure your ceiling hook is secure, and check that the pot sits snugly. Safety first, especially with heavier terracotta pots. Now let's talk about crochet coasters, because these are genuinely one of the best beginner projects out there, and they make incredible gifts. Coasters are small, fast, and satisfying. You can make a set of 4 in an evening, and because they're small, they're the perfect way to practice new stitches without committing to a big project. For coasters, use cotton yarn. It's absorbent, washable, and holds its shape really well. A 4mm hook works nicely with worsted weight cotton. The most classic coaster pattern starts with a magic ring. A magic ring, sometimes called a magic circle, is just a way to start crocheting in the round without leaving a hole in the center. You wrap the yarn around your fingers twice, insert your hook, pull up a loop, chain 1, and then work your first round of single crochets into that ring. When you pull the tail end tight, it closes up the center. Clean, no hole, perfect circle. From there, you increase every round to keep the circle flat. The rule is, each round you add as many stitches as you added in the first round. So if you started with 6 single crochets in round 1, round 2 has 12, round 3 has 18, and so on. This is the same formula for every flat circle in crochet. Once you know it, you'll use it forever. Keep going until your coaster is about 4 inches across, then fasten off, weave in your ends, and you're done. You can make them all one color for a clean, minimal look, or alternate colors every round for a fun striped effect. You can also try different stitches, like the shell stitch or the bobble stitch, to add texture. Textured coasters look incredibly high-end, even though they take almost no time to make. Stack them up, tie them with a piece of ribbon, and you have a handmade gift that costs almost nothing to make but looks like you put a ton of thought into it. Let's